Hi there. Welcome to Athena SQL Lab. I'm Israel Michael, a SQL Server database administrator, and today I have come with a short video to talk about proactive monitoring of excessive login failures in SQL Server. So in this video, I'll try to show you how to detect potential probing attacks uh, and explain why monitoring of login failures, excessive login failures rather, is critical for database security, and I'll share you a practical demo to help you stay ahead of potential threats. Now, let's get started. So, what are the challenges here, right? One of the challenges here is what you call credential stuffing, where attackers exploit weak or reused passwords through automated login attempts to gain what we call unauthorized access, doing a programmatically automated attack. There are situations where in many organizations there are not um, monitoring tools, commercial monitoring tools, or it could also be open source that can be used to monitor this kind of probing attacks. So, because of the lack of effective monitoring for this immediate detection of probing attacks, then we fell prey to attackers. And another could also be the lack of insufficient logging to kind of identify excessive logins failures that could also be potential probing attacks. Or it could also be because of weak account lockout policies, where you have a poorly enforced lookout threshold that could allow attackers to repeatedly attempt to log in to the environment, to the network, without being blocked. And there are also, though rare, situations where a compromised internet account or a malicious insider can also be the cause for this kind of excessive logon failures through, insider attack. Now, I'm going to show you how we can do this, the monitoring and the alerting. So I have written a stored procedure called monitor excessive login failures, and it will be created in the master database. You can create it, in any database you want, like say DBA database. So what it really does is query the SQL Server error log, right? It queries the error log, looks for login failed for this string, right? And I put it into this temp table. Now, once it finds this, then what we are trying to do is filter based on the date, right? So there are two uh, variables here. One is the duration, and the other one is the alert threshold. So the duration defines um, the duration in which you are querying that error log. Let's say in the past 10 minutes, right? And the alert threshold is how many login failures have you found in the past 10 minutes. So if in the past 10 minutes there are, let's say, a minimum of 5 login failures, then you would want to alert, right? So the best way to do is like once you set up this, you create the procedure, and then you define the duration and that threshold. Put this into a SQL Server agent job that will run continuously, let's say every 5 minutes. And then, based on the duration and then the alert threshold, you'll be able to get alerted and then act upon, based on the information that you got from this um, monitoring and alerting tool. So as I said, it will insert into the error log table by querying the SQL Server error log, and then you have check for the count of login failed between these dates based on the duration that's defined here, right? And then based on that, if the failed login count is above or equal to the alert threshold that is set by you, then you would want to get a notification, right? So I have a recipient defined for me is Athena SQL Lab Outlook.com for me. So whatever is yours that you would want to change it. And this procedure is open for customization. And I have this step procedure already in my Git repo, which is open to public. So you go to github.com/Israel Hello Michael, and then if you go to the my repo SQL Server excessive login failures monitor, then you would see the actual store procedure, right? So it's exactly the store procedure that I'm gonna demo you here. So you copy it and then customize it the way you want. Now let's go back here, right? So I have the store procedure, and the way I do it is I have a PowerShell script that simulates these probing attacks, right? So my target server is PortSQL 10, which will be this one. Lab 10 is PortSQL 10, it's the same server. I just have an alias called Lab 10. PortSQL 10 is an unfortunate name. So we have this one, right? So what I'm doing here is, so I have defined a string where I'm going to grab a random password out of it, a 12-character password out of this string. So there's a function go to get random string, and then I have a set of defined SQL usernames called admin, SA, test, user, and etc. Right? So I will use a combination of this username as a SQL Server username, and then a randomly grabbed string, 12 character length string as my password. And then I have a SQL login function, right? So that will do some SQL test, with a try catch. Then I have the number of attempts that I want to run, right? So the number of attempts I want to run, it could be 5, 10, 50, or whatever. Now I'm just putting it to 500. And then I have, so the username comes from the list of usernames. It will just get random username. And the password is a random string that's 12 character in length. Now I'm going to run this one. So as you can see, it's just attempting to connect to PortSQL 10, which is my target. And it has, finished the 500 attempts. And if you go to the SQL Server error log, you see all these failed login attempts, right? And you can also see the IP of the source server. Now, what do we do here? So it's very simple, right? You already created the sub procedure in the master database, and then you pass the duration, which is in the last 5 minutes, and the minimum error threshold, you set 5. As I said, this is, you can set it to whatever you want. Now I will run this one, and then you can see that database mail has been configured on this lab server, and then it has already sent the mail. Now we'll go and see if the mail has been received. Not yet. All right, so it has arrived. Now, as you can see, so it's in a tabular form, and they have multiple login attempts from on this target server, which is PortSQL 10, and then it's for different SQL login, right? Then once you see that you have a lot of failed login attempts from kind of a strange SQL user name, which is not from your environment, then that's suspect that it could be from a malicious attack, and you have to really react to it and resolve the issue as soon as possible. So, and this is for today on detecting and alerting excessive local failures in SQL Server. I believe by implementing this proactively and also monitoring it, you are not only protecting your data, but also reinforcing your organization's overall security posture. So I would say if you find this video really helpful, just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to Athena SQL Lab for more SQL Server tips. And thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.